44 show where I didn't do the countdown timer because I got so entranced with my own countdown timer that I forgot to push the go live. So we're going to be off by about 15 seconds. Hopefully everything's going to be working well enough. I want to welcome Brian Smart, who is your friendly neighborhood content guy, right? He is the content marketing strategist offering the Dynamo Content Engine. And I invited him here today to let us have it. Like, what is he about? What is he offering to the world? And how does his solution work? So, Brian, hopefully you can hear me and that we are not having glitch problems because, that's been the theme of the week. All right, buddy, you got it. I can hear you.
I'm gonna
Yes.
see if I can get the video up here in a moment.
Okay.
But just to give you guys a little bit of a background about me, I am Brian. I am the dadpreneur. I am a 20 strategist. I'm also the founder of Content and entering coaches and parentpreneurs who are time strapped and need to get back that empowerment.
So you know what, Brian? You know what? I can. We're having a little glitch out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask my audience just to go on hold for a sec here. I'm going to run. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to do this. We're going to go here. We're going to go to. Hey, buddy, are you with us again? Let's try it again.
I'm still with you. Yeah, I'm still with you, my
guy. All right. We're just having a little too many conflicts with regard to our audio for some reason. It looks like, I think Restream might be hitting some maxes these days. So start again, please. If we need to go over by a minute or two, we will.
No sweat. So yeah, I was just saying that I'm Brian Smart. I'm a dad first and foremost, and I was granted the title dadpreneur by my children. I'm also a content strategist and coach, and I'm also the founder of Content Creation University. I help growth coaches and consultants build content marketing systems that give them back their time so that they can still create captivating, breathtaking content and spend time with their families and enjoy their lives, right? So I make those systems that make people's lives better because we're living in a digital world. We're living in a content economy. We're living in a content created society. So, you need to be able to capitalize but not minimize your quality of life.
Man, what have you seen out there in terms of, when somebody comes to you and they've got this pain, like what does their life look like, when they reach out?
They are frustrated. They're to a breaking point. They're concerned about their futures because the way things are moving in our economy, it's moving less from a product-based system and more to a service-based system, right? So they're concerned if they're going to be able to capitalize on these brand opportunities, these personal branding opportunities that are becoming more and more not only available but prevalent. They're they're in a state of worry, right, to say the least.
Do they feel like they're getting left behind?
I think I don't know if they feel like they're getting left behind, but I feel like they believe that things are moving too fast for them to ever catch up.
Gotcha. So they're dog paddling against the tide or something like that, for lack of a better kind of metaphor there. I get it. So
yeah, and they're not alone. They know they're not alone. They know that this is a common thing.
Yeah. I mean, we were just talking about that before we got on, right? I mean, it's like I'm doing this show because, right? I mean, I know that live is not everybody's cup of tea right now, but I think it's cool. It's a way for me to get up every day and have a purpose, have a mission, have something I'm working on that I'm proud of, right? And
Yeah.
but it's not easy, right? It takes focus, it takes availability and intention. So I want to hear, like, how did you come up with this position, this realization that you were the guy to provide these kinds of solutions?
So I've worked for big box brands for over 20 years.
Okay.
I've developed content strategies, UX strategies, branding campaigns, digital product development, right? And in seeing, working with, and being a part of these projects, I noticed a gap and a disconnect with brand and audience, right? So the content that was being created was purely to sell,
Okay.
right? And very little of that content was being created to start a conversation, right? To keep the audience captivated, to have a
Mhm.
one-on-one, even if you're speaking to the masses, right?
Mm,
Because
mhm.
there are cadences that you have to reach in order to reach the next level of any relationship. And those cadences are points, pressure points, talking points
Mhm.
in the conversation. That's how that's how relationships are built, on really good
Yeah.
conversations. And
Yeah.
most businesses just don't have the time or the aptitude
Yeah.
to be.
You know what I'm hearing, man? I'm hearing, like, this it's subtle. It's a nuance that what I'm hearing is this. You use this word conversation. And what I hear a lot in the B2B marketing world is education. And I and it what I and so correct me if I'm wrong, but this notion of conversation is more evolved than education, because when I hear education, I'm like, oh, you're just talking to me about you're just lecturing me about something, you know,
Right.
whatever. You're not inviting me to engage in it, really,
And it
right?
sounds like more work
Yeah.
when you talk about teaching, when you talk about learning.
It's like, oh, I got to go to class.
Exactly.
You know, and
Exactly.
I try to make these shows interesting. I would try to have, like, a real conversation, right?
Yeah.
I want it to be accessible. I'd like it if people showed up and made comments, because here we are, right? Like, if like Wendy Wiseman, I don't know if they're still here, but you know what? They're supportive. They're here and love to see the outreach. All right, so you saw this happening. You saw that conversation was the way to get there, and you've got a program, right? You've got some products that you have in market right now. So let's hear about those. How do they work? What's the offer?
So really the way they work is developing content systems that
Okay.
make it easy for you to come up with ideas, easy for you to actually create and develop your content, and easy and manageable ways to distribute that content, right?
Hmm.
So those three things give you those processes, those routines, that guidance to help you make creating content less of a chore and more fun.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So that makes sense. How long does it take to really kind of get integrated with your system and kind of get it up and running? Is it overnight, or does it take, weeks or
Uh,
months?
oh no, it's instant, right?
Okay.
From the moment you crack that box open, you're given what you need to start, right? And that's coming up with ideas. And those ideas are based on the people that you anticipate actually uh, engaging and taking in your content, right?
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So I'm going to share my screen since we had a little bandwidth issue. So let's get that up and running. I think I'm going to go out. I'll go out here to your LinkedIn page while we're chatting here. Hang on. I'm not sharing us yet. Hang on, we're gonna get there. Just gonna, because I want to see kind of what your product kind of looks like. And here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're gonna go here.
Let's do it.
Yep, let's do it. So I'm gonna share this guy. Come on. There we go. Bang. Bang. All right. We are looking at Dynamo Content Engine. So tell us about this. This is your purchase
That's
page, right?
Yeah, that's my Gumroad page. And a
Okay.
lot of people believe that building a product, a digital product, is difficult. They believe that you need a lot of money to do it. I
Mm-hmm.
did it this way to make a point to all of the newcomers and naysayers of
Mm-hmm.
just how easy and affordable it is to build a digital product, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the part that most people put the biggest part of the emphasis on is actually the easiest part, right?
Okay.
The hard part is actually coming up with the content because most people don't understand the where to get started, and that's identifying the target audience, right?
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. That totally makes complete sense. All right. So you put it on Gumroad to demonstrate to people, hey, you can make content. You can make content for sale. You can make content for free. You can make content. Done. Here, I'm doing it. This is how it can work. I love it. It's
Exactly.
great. Okay. So I was able to find this page within what, 3 clicks. So I searched for your name. I went to your link, and bam, here I am. Perfect. So
Exactly. Simple.
now I'm gonna have a little bit, maybe a little bit harder question for you.
Go. Let's shoot.
When we talk about these kinds of content ideas and making it work, there are a lot of pundits out here, right? I mean, there's you get every left turn on LinkedIn is somebody else telling you they got the best content system on earth. So we talked about education versus conversation, right? And that solving that pain point. But let's just call out a few other points maybe that are different, that differentiate your offer from, another one, if I'm having to pick A or B.
So the biggest thing with the system that I use is the way that I engage in content, right? The way I engage in conversation, right? Most of the creators, most of the businesses, most of the brands that you come in contact with, they engage in a kind of conversation that's one way, and it's very, very pushy.
Mm,
So I believe in using a system of attraction, right? Which
okay.
which takes a little longer,
Hmm.
right? Which
Hmm.
helps me weed out whether my clients, whether my students, and whether my buyers are really uh, serious about creating more and better content, right?
Okay.
Because this is not an overnight system, right? I'm not
Mm,
gonna I'm not saying that you're gonna make X amount of dollars from it, right?
hmm.
Because before you start talking about making money, you need to have a really good foundation and understanding of what content is, right?
Mm,
So that's one of the ways that I separate myself from
hmm.
all of the other system creators. And the second way, again, is the process I use to have a conversation, right? It's a really get to know you over time, take my time, study you, learn about what you want, what matters to you, and only make a suggestion that you buy into a product that is going to help you. And it may not even necessarily be my product.
Mm,
I think that's where a lot of people they miss opportunities because it's sell, 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 sell.
yeah.
And I'm talking about having a conversation that encourages people to fix their solution themselves.
Okay. 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 And what I'm hearing from you is that the other guys out here maybe are focused on like an injection style of either like audience or conversation creation, and you're like, hey, this is a magnetic or an attraction style, right?
Absolutely. Hey, and in fact, if you remember when I first re-energized this profile on LinkedIn,
Hmm.
a magnet was in my uh, name,
Okay. Perfect.
right?
Perfect. Well, there
That,
you
that's
go.
what that meant.
That imagery really works. Okay.
Yeah.
So awesome, man. So you've got this system. It's for sale on Gumroad. It demonstrates to other creators that you can actually do this, that this is a platform to make and get things going. That the biggest challenge is figuring out who you want to talk to, wrapping that up and getting it actually up and running, and that we're working on creating conversation. All right, man. I think I got it. All right. So we got 1 minute left. And what I'd like to do is get kind of a 1 minute summary or a tip or something that we can leave with the audience forevermore that we can wrap up quickly into a YouTube short and throw it out on LinkedIn and tell everybody what a great time we had today. Can you throw down some content for 1 minute for me, Brian?
I believe I can do that.
Let's go.
So the biggest thing here is going to be organization and segmentation, right? When you think about your content, organize your content for multiple segments within your target segment, right? So when we talked about this in a comment that you made earlier today, right? So you have a set of perfect buyers, and in that set of perfect buyers, each one is at a different income and spending level, right? Create and organize your content according to themes to address the issues according to each segment's needs. That's the biggest thing that's gonna make your content matter for years to come, right?
Okay. All right, man. We're going to take that one to the bank. All right, buddy. Thank you for coming out to the 344 today. That wraps up our episode. I'm going to hit the count up timer and we are going to call it a day. Thanks everybody for showing up, and we're going to see you on Monday.